So today I've got an exciting video for you guys. We're going to use Stockopedia and try identify 5 top UK stocks right now from certain sectors. Now this information I'm sharing with you is normally behind a paywall, but today I get to share it with you guys for free. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this StockRank system to try and identify 5 undervalued opportunities right now according to Stockopedia. Now I'm sure you're aware I'm a big fan of Stockopedia. I use it quite often in my videos. So for example, if you ever saw me make a video on gaming realms, for example, you probably see me use this page, and I normally get my information about revenue, future revenue growth, future profit growth, P ratios, future P ratios. But today what we're going to do is we're going to use these two features, the stock rank system, and also we're going to use a screener to try and identify 5 stocks that could be undervalued right now. So first of all, how does the stock rank system work on Stockopedia? Well, this is a score made up from quality. How high quality is the business? Is there less bankruptcy risk? Is the earnings growing? Value, is it historically undervalued, historically cheaper compared to the industry? And momentum, is the stock on an uptrend at the moment? And normally these are scored from 0 to 100, so 0 being junk, expensive, weak, 100 being good, cheap, strong. And historically, it's not just a load of made up rubbish. The higher scores, the stocks that are rated more towards 100, have historically performed a lot better, and the ones that are towards 0 have underperformed. So if you look at the previous performance, for example, so if you look at the stocks that have previously been rated 90 to 100, you can see the historical returns here since they did start tracking, and you can see here that the stocks that were more ranked lower, so 0 to 10, have significantly underperformed the market, and you can see the blue line here is the FTSE all share. What is also interesting is Stockopedia put this into a NAPS portfolio. So this is a no admin portfolio system. And currently right now, their NAPS portfolio is up 22% in the last 6 months. So obviously pretty good going. So we're going to create a screener. The first industry that we're going to be looking at is the construction industry, which, looking at these 4 people, I don't know if I'd want them building my house, but this is the first image that came up on Google. So we put in the country, UK, and you can change the country if you want to look in certain other areas in the world. So like a lot of you guys like US, for example, so you could do that. We go in the industry group, we're going to filter it down to home building and construction supplies. So the first one that comes up as a stock rank score of 95 is Epwin, although they're not really a home builder and the rule was going to be a home builder, but I'll leave that one there. Coming at number 2 is Springfield Properties, but you can see that there's been a few popular ones. I know Vistry is a very popular one that's getting a pretty good score at 85. Taylor Wimpey there that I have bbeen buying recently, and Eurocell 84, so they're coming up good, which is good to see. But the first one that comes up is actually Springfield Properties, SPR. So if we do have a quick look at SPR, so you can see here on a valuation point of view, they're coming up pretty good compared to the industry and market at the price to book value, price to tangible assets, price to free cash flow. If we do look at the financials, look like from 2019, 191 million up to what they're expected this year of 285 million. If we look at net profit, that's gone from 12 million up to 16 million expected this year. Traded at about 8 times earnings. So it looks like there's financially been some good progress here. So yeah, just one to look at if you wanted some ideas to take that further. And obviously the stock rank is coming up pretty good at the moment for Springfield Properties. Moving on to the second sector, which is a very popular one at the moment, which I've gone for defence. People are looking for defence stocks. We're seeing at the moment there's a lot more things going on in the world. Obviously, it seems like an increase in wars, unfortunately, at the moment. And what we've seen is a lot of countries at the moment have been increasing their spending on defence. So is there any stocks that in the UK markets could be good opportunities to capitalise on some of this extra spending? Well, let's take a look. So I'm going to scroll down now and I'm going to change that to aerospace and defence. We're going to go for research. So there's not too many UK actual defensive stocks when we do look at it here. So if we look at the stock rank at the moment, there's not really a standout green score coming up. The 2 standout at the moment are Rolls-Royce and BAE Systems. So it looks like BAE Systems is the one that's currently coming out on top. So we'll have a quick look at BAE Systems and see if there's something interesting here. So it looks like the stock's been on a good run, as you can see here at the moment. Looking at the financials here, you can see here historically it's been a pretty good performer, as you can see here. Net profit has been moving up nicely in the right direction. in my opinion, 24 times forward earnings, maybe a little bit rich. Maybe it's one that you probably would have wanted to get maybe 2 or 3 months ago, but certainly financially looking pretty good. So you can see here that at the moment, Stockopedia is ranking that one as one of the high performance in the defense space. We move on to number 3. So number 3 is an area that a lot of you guys like, which is the leisure space. The leisure space at the moment, I think that's had a bit of a tough time, so there could be some opportunities here. A lot of them have been hit by this higher corporation tax, inflation, wage inflation, so we'll see if we can find an interesting play in the leisure space. So for the leisure space, I've put leisure products and hotels and entertainment services in here, and there's quite a few opportunities, as you can see, coming up. Now, I can see a lot of you guys will be going, where does Hollywood Bowl come on the list? Hollywood Bowl at the moment is actually coming quite low down. It's actually coming with a score of 41, so I thought I'd point that one out. But if we get to the top, the one at the top at the moment is a company called Character Group, just Character, ticker symbol CCT. I've actually not ever heard of this company. It's quite a small one. 53 million market cap, coming up with a score of 97, so that's a pretty high score. Let's have a look at what this company is doing. So if we do look at what they do, the company designs, manufactures and distributes a range of toys, games and playthings. So let's have a quick look and see what's going on here. So revenue growth wise, they have had a bit of a slump during the last kind of few years. So if we do look at the company, it looks like some decent revenue growth here recently, although there has been a drop off previously. Net profit wise, there's been a bit of a drop off in the profit, but maybe a bit of a rebound going on at the moment. Around about 10 times earnings here for the business. Looking at the company, P ratio looks a little bit cheaper than what we've previously, other companies in this kind of sector here. So yeah, you can see here as well, there's been a little bit of a breakout going on if you like your turnaround plays here. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of this one at the moment, but obviously that's one that's getting picked up by Stockopedia at the moment. Obviously, if you wanted to have a couple of more to look at, Mitchell's and Butler's is one that's coming up at the moment. They own a lot of restaurants and pubs at the moment. And Rank, that was one that I completely missed out of. I should have bought that one a while ago. But yeah, a couple of stocks to look at there. Moving on to number 4, we're going to move to the media space. So the media budget seems to be going up a bit at the moment. I can tell you from myself, YouTube, seems like the adverts, people paying more and more for adverts at the moment. So is there a good stock in the UK markets for a UK company? I'm sure we're not going to see S4 Capital near the top. So here we go, we're going to go on the media and publishing. Let's see what stock comes up at the top. So we've got Smith's News at the top. I know Paul Scott's a big fan of that one. To be fair, a couple of ones coming up here. ITV, that's getting a pretty good score at the moment, 91 for I'm Print. I know that's been actually a really popular one on the Discord. I've never personally looked at that one. Future, I know a few people are starting to buy into that one at the moment as a bit of a turnaround play. So yeah, let's have a look at the top one, which is Smith's News. We can see here, Smith's News PLC is a United Kingdom-based news wholesaler and provider of early morning end-to-end supply chain solutions and distributes newspapers. Let's have a look at some of the financials here. So looking at the revenue growth has been going up in the right direction, quite nice. Net profit, wow, look at the net profit growth. We're expected, I don't know what's happening here, but it's going to expect 250 million to a 400 million. That's increasing quite nice at 19 times earnings at the moment. So yeah, the stock has historically been performing quite well. Look at that. Oof, it's been a good performer. So again, I don't know, ideally I probably want it a little bit lower here, but seems to be financially been performing quite well at the moment. And moving on to number 5, a space that everyone likes investing in, software companies. We're going to see if there's any at the moment top UK software companies using the Stockopedia scanner. So let's click on software and IT services. So let's have a look here. Frontier Development. Wow, that has been on a very good run at the moment. I know about that one. Look at that. Money Group, so that's actually one that I own at the moment. That's coming in at second place at 90, not too far behind. I don't know if I've ever looked at that stock. Coof, Everplay, that used to be Team 17. Let's have a quick scroll down. Yeah, there's quite a few decent ones in there. Look at that, it's a good long list. So let's look at Frontier Developments that's coming up as the number 1 stock here, FDEV. So looking at the company here, I've got a bit of information about this company. I know it's been going through a tough time at the moment. So the stock price has had a bit of a tough time. You can see here the revenue growth looks like it's just about to be stabilizing a little bit. If we do look at net profit, it looks like the net profit's stabilizing a little bit at the moment. So that's maybe why it's coming down at 9 times earnings. So yeah, looking at that, that's maybe what's getting picked up here is a bit of a turnaround play that, this stock has been through a tough time. The U-shaped recovery is starting to happen on it. The financials are starting to recover on it. The momentum's building back up in the stock. So it gives you a bit of an idea for maybe a potential turnaround in the kind of market here. But obviously, those are 5 stocks in 5 industries in the UK markets that I've picked here. If you do want to try a few more sectors to try identify some opportunities, there's this whole list here that you can go through. And as well as that, if you don't want to just look at the UK stocks, you can get rid of the United Kingdom there, and you can also put the likes of the United States in and start filtering through US stocks or any other markets out there. So if you do want to give this a little bit more time and a bit more research, then you can join through the link in the description and the pinned comment, guys. But I thought I'd share with you 5 interesting stocks that maybe, or the complete list as well of other stocks that you might want to have a little bit of a research on. And you never know, if it's very popular, maybe we can do a list of another 5 stocks in another 5 industries, or stocks on another exchange in another market like the US or Germany or France, for example. So yeah, hope there was some useful information there, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you in a bit.